confident, courageous.
Anyway, you have to sit down and ask questions.
So welcome, my name is Kwabena Darko. Welcome. Today I want to share with you truth proximity. Proximity. We all were born in some kind of home, some kind of environment, and or we will grow up and we will pick all kind of things from school, from home, from the church, from everybody, from the business area, from our jobs, from friends, from everybody. But it gets to a point that what your mind processes, your convictions, they must be in the proximity of the truth. The truth is like a magnetic field. I remember when we were doing physics in school. If there is anything that is in the domain of the field or is in the influence of the magnetic field, what will happen is that it will attract it. Especially if it's if it's metal here and there's a magnet, it will attract it. So long as it's in that radius, the truth, for you to attract anything, you are within the proximity of that truth. You are within that environment, that domain. And so most people would want to see results. Most people would want to see something. But I think the best of life, the start of life, is the truth that you know and the truth that you have bought. When you are in that proximity, you will get results. And whether you are free or you are in bondage is in the proximity of that truth. Truth, they say, is what gets you results consistently. Anywhere that you see people are getting results, anything that can be replicated in anywhere, anything that can be repeated, not just by you but everybody, anywhere, at any time, then there is some proximity of the truth which is working, which is operating there. So people live in errors and they suffer their lives. They suffer all their lives because they are far from the truth. Most pain, most struggles, most when you, especially Africans, a lot of us live outside the proximity of the truth about ourselves, about our heritage, about our blessing. And a lot of us, we say, where there is struggle, where there is pain, where there is frustration, it means that we are very far from the truth. The truth, they say, is absolute, and all the time it can work, and all the time it works. The truth, they say, influences the belief system that you have, and you are and wherever you even see consistent growth, you will see that there is discovery of that truth. So search for it. Don't just say that this is what I know. The other day I was talking to somebody and said that I don't have to read any book to understand this. I don't have to learn any, I know what. And meanwhile, what the things that he was expressing, the things that he was saying, at least to the best of my knowledge, was far from the reality on the ground. So the truth is what you need to build on your life. You should know that this is it. What are the principles that you have about people, about money, about love, about time, about knowledge, about understanding, about wisdom? What is your understanding about religion, even business, anything that you think people are involved in? What is your understanding of it? You can say that, oh, me, I don't care. I will eat anything and I will be healthy. That means that you are far from the truth. Because they will tell you these foods, those who eat these foods will have health. Those who take this will have difficulty with their health. A lot of people will say it doesn't really matter, I will just do what I want to do, and then they will still be expecting the results that they have seen in others that they desire. You cannot get the same results when you are not doing that which the other person with that results did. So your life, you have to always search, ask yourself, is this the truth? Am I in the proximity of the truth? Or I've deviated and I'm still expecting this kind of results? Truth is what it takes to build anything. It's not selective. Truth is our principles, and they are eternal and they are timeless. How you treat people is seen in your truth. How you hold on to your ethics is your understanding of the truth, actually. Truth never fails. Challenges will meet everybody, but truth, those who are on the side of the truth, enjoy life to the fullest. Sometimes people say that, oh, I was honest with them and they punished me. Then the path that punishment set you on is that which will lead you into your victory. If you have to be truthful for you to suffer any damage, any loss, then that is a better damage than for you to compromise the truth. For you to lie, for you to cheat, for you to do all kind of things and have today comfort, because tomorrow that path will lead you into destruction. So truth, and in the proximity of the truth. Maybe you have lived 30 years, you still have some time to live. You can change that 30 years. There was a study that I was, searching on. They said those who are able to live 100 years, the things that they do. For instance, they say that they eat a lot of fruit, they eat a lot of vegetables. They also say that they drink a lot of water, they do a lot of exercise, they reduce carbohydrate intake, they don't worry so much. They have good people who they work with. Their associations are people who believe in them, who are not so much negative towards them. They themselves are very good-hearted people. These are things that those who are able to live. And there's, of course, the environment that they live in, the quality of air, even their finances. There's a certain level of finances that you need for you to live long, if you don't know. There's a certain level of food, water, exercise that you need to have for you to live long. So when you see, they say that these people are dying at this age, and the age is not good. Let's look at what is informing that. A lot of the times you will see, even accidents, the accidents come out of negligence. When we are not paying attention, accidents will happen. For instance, when you're on your major roads, you have a lot of people get an accident with their vehicles. There's something. How do they drive? What quality of roads do you have? What training have you given to the drivers? All these things you're not paying attention and say that is something somewhere that is causing the accident. It means you're far from the proximity of the truth. And most people have been told that a lot of things are beyond their control. So instead of them to search for the truth in that, they also said that genetics may play a part. Of course, so if it's genetics, you may not have a lot of control about that. But the very things that you have control about, if you have the truth in those, a lot of your results, you can predict them. A lot of your results, you can be so much certain. Anything that you're building, you want to build investment, you want to overcome poverty, you want to create wealth, you want to create health, you want to create a peaceful home, you can always do them. The other day I was reading about divorce, for instance. You are a man, you say you want to sit on the woman. The moment she gets a lot of exposure, a lot of information, you cannot sit on her. She will demand her right. So what you will not want others to do to you, don't do to others. Let people live their life. Let people express what is in them. Everybody wants to be noted. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be understood. Everybody wants to say that I spent my life to achieve something. Everybody wants to have freedom. Everybody wants to achieve something. So in any relationship, it's the same. Once people are of themselves and they feel they are in charge of their lives, they have freedom and liberty to decide their choice, to decide what they choose and suffer the consequences. When people are adult, that is what you do to them. You don't say that I am the man. And so what I say, people want to have control over their money. The best empowerment that women must have is what? Is the power to control their own wealth and their own money. So you don't sit on somebody and try to decide everything, and next day you are shocked that the thing is not working. It's not working because you're far from the truth. You didn't create that person. It's the same with even business partnership. If people feel like what they're doing does not make any contribution and there's no respect in what they're contributing, then the business partnership will not work. So in the proximity of truth, in the proximity of truth. If you are thinking of why things are that difficult for you, if you are thinking of why things are working, find out. You see that you're not far from that proximity. If a lot of things are frustrating to you, if the business is not working, if the country is not working, if the health is not working, if the finances are not working, look for the proximity. Where are you standing? Where are you standing? There's not much wrong with you. You may be out of the reach of the field of the truth. So my name is Kwabena Darko. Once you see that there's freedom, there's fulfillment, there's liberty, there's predictability, there's love. The truth is built on love, on openness. So no relationship works. Nothing really works and produce the kind of results when a lot of things are being compromised, when a lot of things are being, put under the carpet, as they say them. When a lot of things, this is what they employ you to do. The things that you're doing. If the manager or the owner sees it, you'll be reported to the police, but you still want to do it. You're destroying things there. You can't be part of anything that you want to build and destroy it. So out of selfishness, if you're full of selfishness and jealousy, you're out of the reach of the truth. You want everybody to help you, but you never help anybody. You want people to forgive you, but you never forgive anybody. You want information, you want knowledge, but you never pick a book. You never go for that which will improve you. The food to the soul is knowledge. It's books. So in the proximity of the truth will make you free, as they say. There's liberty. A lot of things hold people. Strings hold your mind, hold your legs, hold your hands. It's like a car in motion, and maybe it goes into some gutter somewhere, and some things hold the tie. It's still in motion. Most of us, we are still in motion. Why we are still not going where we are going is because a lot of strings, lies. So once you start to cut those things and you're put on the road, you go. A lot of us, so when the beauty about what we do, what we share, is that we are not giving money, and we are not even saying that come and do this I should come and do this for you. We are just trying to say that a lot of things that if you cut the lies, you will have the strength to move on and to structure your life and to plan your life well and get to a place that you'll be so much proud of yourself. So when you continue to listen to a lot of things that we are saying, you start to see that this lie is cut, this lie is cut, this lie is diffused, this other lie is diffused, and then you start to be in a position that, no, I can do this. I can do this myself. There is no better strength that you give to a people than when you start to confident, courageous.
Anyway, you have to sit down and ask questions and look for